Good evening. My name is Dr. Kavita Mariwalla. I'm a board-certified dermatologist and board-certified Mohs micrographic surgeon. I want to tell you a story tonight about a young man, an avid soccer player, who noticed a bruise on his big toe. Happens all the time, right? I mean, if you're an athlete, especially a runner, those big toenails, well, they definitely take a hit. So having a bruise under the nail didn't seem out of the ordinary. It only started to take notice when that bruise, it wouldn't grow out, and it kept getting bigger. How strange, right? Like, what kind of injury is that? Well, it turned out that bruise wasn't a bruise after all. It was a melanoma. And that young man, he died in May of 1981 at the age of 36. His name was Bob Marley. And you know his famous song, Redemption Song? It was written as he faced his own mortality from that melanoma. You see, melanoma, it doesn't discriminate. Yesterday, I was with the family of Brian Bonin. You may have heard of his story. He's local to Long Island. His melanoma started as a spot on the bottom of his foot that was thought to be a wart, except that it wasn't. He left behind a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old and a bonus daughter, which is what he affectionately called his stepdaughter. I mean, talk about a great guy. She's 18. He was the coach of Comac baseball and led that team to the first ever victory of the Long Island Championships in the history of the school. Think about that. A young man in his prime, super healthy. His loss not only devastated his parents and his extended family, but an entire community of young people. And as I said, melanoma, see, it doesn't discriminate. And we know that because it also took away Molly, a young, vibrant sister and daughter in the prime of her life. And when you know these stories, the question is, what is there to say? That's the thing, isn't it? After the fact, what do you say to a parent or a family? I'm sorry? It doesn't carry enough weight. I can't believe it? Well, yeah, that's an understatement. And it turns out the words, they don't really exist. But you know what does? Action. So that's why we're here tonight. Because there are no words to describe the painful loss of losing a family member to this kind of cancer. But I hope that feeling, that lump in your throat when you hear these stories prompts you to act. It did for me. In fact, I'm coming to you via video because when Maggie and Jack asked me to speak tonight, without even thinking, I was like, yep, absolutely, I will be there. Kind of forgot about checking my schedule and life's little details that I had to be in Georgia, but more about that in a second. But the reality is, who says no to the big gains? I never do. It's always what, where, when, how much, when can I help you? Because their action is infectious. What the Begains probably don't realize is that through Molly's Fund, they touch not only the public through skin cancer screenings and their public service announcements, but they also touch nurses and they touch doctors. I'm one of those people. I first heard about Molly's Fund when I was in the back of a taxi. Remember those things that we took before Uber and Lyft? Well, I was in New York City and an ad came up on the taxi TV screen. At the time, I was a faculty member and head of cutaneous oncology at St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital in Manhattan. But over the years, my family expanded and we moved out to the country, Long Island, as the Manhattanites call it. And I set up my own practice. And that's when I had a choice I had to make. I could continue to offer skin cancer surgery as a Mohs surgeon, or I could go into full-time skin cancer detection as a general dermatologist. Most people do one or the other. Hardly anyone does both. Why? Why did I choose to keep doing both, work all the time? Because of Molly's Fund. See, through the years, I continued working with them. Whether we were on the lacrosse fields or teaching nursing students, they showed me that it was equally important to talk to people about protection and detection, but also accessibility. Molly's Fund gets that. They get that you have to meet people where they are, and to remind them why it's so important to get screened, because there is so much to stay healthy for. There's so much to be around for. By giving the people a chance to ask a dermatologist and meeting them there on those fields at those skin cancer screenings, Molly's Fund does what it does best. It focuses on people. It inspires action. The constant reminder over the years made sure I never gave up being a skin cancer surgeon. And the result? Well, that's why I'm not there with you tonight. I'm here in Georgia because I've been nominated to be the president of the American Society of Dermatologic Surgery, a 5,000 member strong group of oncologic surgeons and dermatologic surgeons. And me, I'm going to be the youngest president in its history. So you see, okay, let me not cry for a second because they do mean a lot to me. Okay. So you see, Molly's Fund, they do more than just skin cancer screenings. They inspire people to act. Molly's Fund is truly a testament to a family's love of a young girl lost in her prime from a devastating disease that started with a spot. So tonight, I hope you enjoy the festivities. You can tell how much Molly's Fund means to me and how it's inspired me in my life. It's part of that whole branch, right? We're all part of this family tree. So tonight, I hope you honor Molly and the Begains and all the amazing work they've done. 20 years, man, it's never looked this good. Thank you.